This is the weakest nation in Khan. And here is a recon division that on day 9 is heading toward a level 2 airbase belonging to the strongest nation in this game. How did I get to this point? You'll find out in just a few minutes. After the last solo campaign, I figured that 5 homeland cities were just too many, so this round, I decided it was time for the Rocketman challenge. The best part about this challenge? You can always start it without any delays, because, fortunately, Korea isn't exactly the most popular nation in the game. You think I'm going to use diplomacy skills to survive and find support? Of course yes. I mean no. No. The only thing the new Korean leader knows about diplomacy is declaring wars. The only reason I haven't done it on the entire world yet, I've just been busy with other things. Let's start the game. The first thing I'm doing is building army bases and recruiting offices. After that I'm researching combat recon vehicles. They will be key to my survival in the early game. In my capital I've also started construction of an arms industry. Among other things it's needed for building corvettes. I've played several times as South Korea and I know for sure that the most effective way to defend against China and Japan is with corvettes. Now in the city of Hamhung I've started building a level 2 army base. My early game strategy in this match will include towed artillery. I'm building the army base specifically for it. Now let's begin its research. This will take quite a bit of time. I'm redirecting most of my forces to the city of Hamhung because the first war will definitely be against South Korea and I need both defensive and offensive capabilities for it. In addition I've placed buy orders for electronics and rare materials on the market. I don't have a city producing electronics so I'll always suffer from a shortage. The only way to get it is through the market. I've researched combat recon vehicles and started mobilizing them in all cities. Rally points will be in Hamhung and the capital. The next day I received peaceful messages from South Korea and China. Of course I ignored them. They don't know yet that the leader of North Korea is preparing for total war with the entire world. Additionally, I checked my neighbor's constructions. Only Japan seems inactive. I've started building a level 2 naval base. I need corvettes as soon as possible for total dominance in the ocean. Some of my buy orders on the market were accepted. I also put components up for sale. When trying to survive as a small nation like North Korea, you have to even sell off your national wealth to make it through. Later I'll need to research mobile anti-air since it doesn't require electronics to produce. Plus I'll need some kind of air defense until I have my own nuclear weapon. I mean my own fighters, of course fighters. Now let's check the waters around me. Someone might already be on the way. My fighter detected an air contact. Let's fly closer to see what it is. It turned out to be China. He's either planning an attack or waiting for one from me. It's now the second day. I've already gathered a stack to break through the defenses. I also planned to send my artillery to bomb the city of Gangneung but changed my mind because South Korea stationed towed artillery there. And the worst part is it's positioned in the mountains. Therefore it has a 50 view range and can see the movement of my troops and deal damage with a bonus. He was clearly expecting an attack from me. But the fact that he split his troops works in my favor. It will be easier to destroy them separately. I decided to retreat and come in from the side of Seoul. There were only 2 infantries at the border and 1 more in the capital. The artillery division consists of 2 infantries and towed artillery. It's a manageable task for my recon division. First I attack the infantry battalion with my artillery. At the same time my artillery is out of range of the enemies. By this stage I had already researched the Corvette and placed it in the mobilization queue. In addition, I'm constantly trading on the market. I'm always trying to sell fuel and components because I need money to buy electronic supplies and rare materials. My recon division reached the infantry battalion and engaged in combat. It destroyed the infantry battalion in 2 attacks and is now moving toward the artillery division. Since his artillery is firing at my recon division, I can fire back with my own artillery. While suspicious North Korean tourists are on the way, I sent a fighter to check what's in the other enemy cities. Every city has infantry signatures, and Pusan has a recon division as well. I had to split the division into 2 parts to avoid losing any units. My brave stormtroopers quickly took care of the artillery, and are now heading to Gangneung. But there are too many troops there. So, I sent my division to Seoul, and I'll bomb Gangneung with my artillery. As we can see, there's only 1 unit in Seoul. My invaders captured Seoul without resistance. The division has already lost quite a bit of health, so I need to attack very carefully. In the city of Gwangju, there's only 1 infantry. I'll capture that as well. It only took 1 attack to do it. Now I'm redirecting the stormtrooper squad to Gangneung to move the artillery toward Pusan. The artillery has already dealt a significant amount of damage to the infantry division. I can finish it off with my recon division instead of wasting artillery time on this task. I'm in a hurry because South Korea might wake up and take countermeasures. I'd prefer to avoid that. I've started constructing local industry in a supply province. Right now I'm more short on supplies than electronics. Meanwhile, China already has a level 2 naval base and a level 2 air base. I need to attack him as soon as possible, maybe even before Japan. The 4th day has arrived. I've already researched mobile anti-air and started mobilizing it. My second towed artillery has been completed. I'm sending it to the city of Pusan, and from there I'll be able to bomb Tsushima Island. By the 5th day my second corvette is under construction and 1 mobile anti-air is already complete. I'm specifically prioritizing conditionally useful units that I'll be able to use in battles, and I'm not building infantries because I don't have enough resources for everything. Trading on the market is going well. I'm constantly selling fuel and buying supplies. Thinking Japan was an inactive player, I quietly began capturing provinces near the city of Sapporo. I didn't even bother capturing cities. It was enough to take the provinces and increase my income, which is crucial for controlling the world banking system and buying resources. However, Japan woke up and started attacking me with his fighter and liberating the captured provinces. Fortunately, this was just his last burst of activity. Thanks to my anti-air, his fighter was quickly taken down. My corvette was bombing the city of Fukuoka, and I initially sent my artillery to Kochi. But then I changed my mind and redirected it to Fukuoka since it was on the way. Soon after, my artillery disembarked and got to work. A day later Fukuoka was already captured, and my artillery had disembarked in Kochi. I sent a second corvette to support it. Meanwhile, my infantry made a tactical retreat from Hokkaido and moved to capture Honshu, the largest of Japan's islands. At this point Kyushu was fully under my control, and my artillery was finishing off the division in Kochi. You might be wondering how I know so many Japanese names? Well, I've watched a lot of anime. Finally I started upgrading my artillery to level 2. I've noticed that many players who build this unit don't bother upgrading it beyond level 1. Big mistake. At level 2 its attack range increases to 65. I'm sending my 3rd artillery straight to Osaka. Finally I've finished off the recon division. Here's an interesting moment. I started embarking my division but then cancelled it. I decided to wait until my infantry captured the city, which would cut the embarking time from 2 hours to just 40 minutes. I sent my corvettes to slowly whittle away at the troops in Tokyo since my artillery can handle Osaka. A day later, Osaka and Tokyo were cleared. My corvette is now attacking an infantry battalion near Sapporo. Everything's going perfectly. Japan awakened Godzilla, who ended up capturing him. On the 9th day, all Japanese forces had been destroyed. Only the last 2 cities remained to be captured. A day ago I researched air superiority fighters, and now I've started researching mobile anti-air level 2. Now it's time to move on to our main target, China. I've already assembled my corvettes into a task force of 3 ships and sent them toward his homeland cities. I also sent a recon division with artillery on a land route. I deliberately chose to avoid a naval invasion because China has a level 2 airbase, meaning he likely has air units. If he catches me during disembarkation, my beautiful division, and my ambitions, would be wiped out. My corvette swiftly detected a naval signal. I sent a fighter to check it out. Good news. It turned out to be just a single corvette. Now I'll send my fighter further. Soon it detected another signature. And again, it was just another corvette. Now it's time to declare war and begin the naval battle. Let's go! I rate my naval combat skills as average. But since I know a thing or two about this game, I'll show you how to attack without taking damage. Here's an important point. I declared war ahead because if China has a Security Council, attacking him without a war declaration would mean I'd immediately take a counterstrike. Declaring war in advance prevents that. So, I approach the corvette, press stop, attack, and quickly retreat using rush. Actually, this technique isn't the best. Before releasing the video, some experienced players enlightened me that I'm a newbie and have been doing it all wrong. In a moment, I'll show you the advanced hit and run technique used by players in tournaments. Everything you've seen on YouTube before doesn't even come close to this level. It will help you win naval battles and even bypass aggressive mode, as it won't have time to activate. But before that, take a look at what I'm doing now. Approach, anchor, retreat, and rush. This is wrong. Let's check out a recording from my gameplay, but this footage was done later. This is from a new campaign as the UK on the nuclear winter map. Notice the difference? Let's watch the recording with a timer. The timer will show the time between pressing the stop button and retreating. Let's go. See the difference now? Let's break down both methods in slow speed. In the first version, I make 4 clicks. Stop button, move button, then an extra click to start moving, and finally, the rush button. In the second version, there are only 3 clicks. Stop button, then I click on the unit and without releasing the left mouse button, drag it in the opposite direction and press rush button. As a result, the time is reduced by more than half. Here are a few more examples. With practice, I'm sure this maneuver can be done in 3 to 5 milliseconds. This tactic should also be used when playing with artillery. Using the attack and move buttons will only slow you down, and increase the risk of taking a counterstrike. If you like my tip, make sure to share this video with your friends. Let's get back to the North Korea campaign at last. My fighter revealed a shocking truth. There's no one in Qingdao. So, I immediately redirected the troops returning from Japan there. To my great surprise, Shanghai was also empty. I attacked the corvette for the second time and then bravely retreated. After the third attack, the corvette was finally destroyed, and I began advancing deeper into enemy territory, heading toward his naval base. Perhaps it's defended as well. On the way, my corvette detected artillery with its radar, and I decided to eliminate it immediately. Meanwhile, my second fighter had been mobilized, and now I'm using both to scout for enemy forces and possibly strike the artillery. There are troops stationed in Zhengzhou, and the artillery battalion consists of only artillery. I also decided to check Beijing, and once again, it turned out to be empty. So, to avoid wasting time, I sent my fighters to eliminate the artillery. Also, I captured my first province. I'm now reconsidering my route to the capital since there's nothing there. After that, I scouted Harbin, and it was empty too. 2 infantry units are enough to capture this part of China, so I pulled out 1 combat recon vehicle to merge with the infantry in case any mobilization occurs in Harbin. The rest of my minions along with the fighters have been sent to Beijing. Another group of North Korean minions have already disembarked in the coastal city of Qingdao, and are on their way to capture it. Since China is sailing towards my corvettes, his Avengers are engaging my task force, and my corvettes are attacking in return. So, his division will be destroyed twice as fast. It's great that he's helping me conquer him. My fighters returned for refueling after engaging in battle. Fortunately, China had only 1 fighter, and I didn't lose anything. I missed that moment a little and hadn't planned for it. The corvettes finally finished off the recon division. I sent them to cover the landing in Shanghai. The fighters returned from refueling. And since the Chinese fighter was still grounded, I attacked and quickly destroyed one. By the end of day 9, everything was going great. My corvette was returning from Hong Kong since nothing was found there. I've already captured 3 of China's homeland cities and will soon take a 4th. In my capital, I'm building a level 2 airbase as I prepare to mobilize elite attack aircrafts. The level 3 airbase in Mongolia is worrying me. That's why I'm sending my recon division in that direction. Mongolia, who is in a coalition with China, will be my next enemy. And here's the reason why my fighters are patrolling near Beijing. Earlier, I noticed that China had an airfield in Vietnam. I anticipated that seeing the attack on himself, he would try to relocate his forces back to the capital. A perfect opportunity to catch him mid-flight. My fighters spotted infantry. I decided to split the squadron into 2 fighters. The attack power of the first would be enough to destroy 1 infantry in the air, while the second would continue scouting the airspace toward the airfield. Right after the first infantry, a recon division was flying. I attacked it as well, eliminating another unit. In random games, it's quite common to catch troops while they're being airlifted. That's why I always recommend building fighters. The next day, I noticed there were offers on the market that I couldn't buy. Most likely one of the enemies I had defeated put all his resources up for sale. How unfortunate. I could really use some electronics. Soon after, another infantry flew by, coming from the airfield in Myanmar. As a reminder, Myanmar is another ally of China. and I destroyed that infantry as well. Unfortunately, some of his troops still managed to slip into Beijing. You can see in the reports that my recon division has already attacked and destroyed 2 units. Earlier, my fighter intercepted another target in the air. My fighter has detected the next target. But instead of attacking immediately, I decided to fly a bit further to check if there might be another unit following it. I was right. Right behind it, there was another air contact. By using the patrol technique, I attacked both targets at once and destroyed 2 infantries. My second fighter is already on its way to intercept these targets again. Hopefully, it will get there in time. Now I can see the composition of the enemy forces as they fly over the province I captured. I attacked again and destroyed another infantry. The survivors have lost a lot of health, which means my artillery will have an easier time dealing with them. 9 hours have passed. The division in Beijing is almost completely wiped out. I sent all units except the artillery to finish off the last combat recon vehicle, since artillery doesn't deal much damage to armored targets. Another Korean invader is on his way to capture Hong Kong. I've also set up other routes to capture the remaining Chinese territories. In the reports, you can see how I attacked the remnants of the recon division with artillery. Additionally, my fighters intercepted 2 more flying squirrels. The war against China can be considered finished. Here you can see the casualties on both sides. Of course, I won with overwhelming superiority. This was mainly due to the opponent's poor gameplay, but also because I was able to benefit from his mistakes. I've already started researching elite attack aircraft and building a level 3 airbase. This will finally help me speed up my world conquest. My troops are approaching the Mongolian border, and unlike me, he's had a level 3 airbase for quite some time. In the upcoming episode we'll get down to serious business. I invite you to leave your thoughts in the comments section, and of course, subscribe to the channel and share my videos with other fans of the game who are looking to improve their skills. See you soon.